All right, everybody, welcome to Andrews the podcast. As you can see, I am outside of the studio tonight. Uh, my intentions were to shoot at the. I had my signals crossed a little bit, and it was totally my fault. So uh, we are going to do Real Talk Tuesday right now, and I have a guest who I'm going to bring up in a little bit. Uh, a staple over in the Sampic community. Um, but we'll get into that. Of course, the mayor will be on. On here, let me share this out and make sure this is going where it needs to go. Again, guys, tomorrow is very important. It's the okay. Hold on a second here. Let me like live recording live doesn't have its issues. But hold 1 second, guys. All right, guys, listen. Like I was getting ready to say, tomorrow is a big day. It's the start of early voting in the runoff in Georgetown County election. For those of you who don't know, and if you know somebody that you may think not knows, just tell somebody tomorrow you can start early voting. I understand it's Juneteenth, and I'm pausing because I was almost about to say you're gonna celebrate Juneteenth, and I just want everybody to know that these are not celebratory holidays in like a celebratory fashion. These are holidays that you should, in my opinion, you should take to learn and educate yourself. So as you move about tomorrow, to go to different various Juneteenth celebrations, please make sure that you stop by and early vote. Send somebody to early vote. Georgetown County District 3, this is very, very important. Again, very, very important. So that starts tomorrow. And you know what we're doing over here at Andrews the Podcast. We got Mr. Ernie Cooper, who actually won in the election, but per the rules in the state of South Carolina and there's other states like this, you have to win by a certain percentage, and that did not happen in this round of the election. So no volume. Thank you, Thomas. I don't know what's wrong with her. Hey, Thomas, you got to come in early and go ahead and get that sound check for me now. All right. So, but yeah, tomorrow, big day. This whole next 2 weeks, within this next couple of days here, there's a lot of work to be done. We are at the brink. We are at the right at the precipice. We are right at the point where we can, really affect some change. And there's going to be a huge announcement dealing with District 5 down here in Georgetown County. Just when they thought they were safe, here we come with with what we got. All right, and so I just got the call, and I'm waiting for Mayor McClary to come in. But in the meantime, I want to go ahead and play something else for you real fast.
Has his actions improved your quality of life for the past 8 years? Everett Carolina has ignored the will of the people, underestimated our intelligence, and our resolve to be considered and properly represented. However, he has proven that he's more concerned with every other district except District 3 as stated by Councilman Bob Anderson. We can't afford for more years of you and your family to be misled, misinformed and neglected. Mr. Everett Carolina is probably a nice man, but he's not proven that he is capable of improving the quality of life for the underserved citizens of District 3. We thank him for his service, but it's time to elect someone who will not succumb to pressure to focus mainly on the eastern side of Georgetown County. So on June 25, 2024, let's give ourselves a chance not to just improve, but to grow and progress like everyone else. That said, elect Ernie L. Cooper to serve you the good people of District 3, Georgetown County, South Carolina. This ad was paid for by the political watchdogs of Georgetown County.
And listen, make sure you share this broadcast out. Tag somebody in this broadcast, okay? I don't know what's going on there with there, but listen, let me go ahead and bring this young lady up right here from under the Sanford community. I don't have my board, so I'm gonna have to do my round of applause here. And you guys see her name on the screen, Miss Leona Miller, affectionately known as Tiger, that bus driver who did not take nothing off of nobody. How are you?
Long time ago. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good seeing you guys today out there in Sanford. I've always been impressed with that part of Georgetown County. As I learned more about what the district and where the district lines are and that kind of thing, but I've always been impressed with the community over in that area. And so for everybody, well, I'm assuming everybody. For those who don't know you, can you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. I'm Leona Miller, Myers Miller. I've lived in Sanford a long time, 18 years, married to George Miller. Georgie moved to Andrews, was there for, I think, about 8, maybe 10 years, and moved back to Sanford. My children are George, better known as GC, and Jared Miller. And I have been an active part of my community. I love my community. I've never desired to live anyplace else. And hopefully we will have a candidate that will love our community and all of Georgetown County like we do.
Yeah, and a lot of folks say, let's dig into that a little bit, because a lot of folks say, they work in the community, but I know you've been front line. You know what I mean? And every time I've seen you, even down to with the situation at in Lambertown, where that was one of the last time I saw you at County Council, and you were speaking for the folks out there. You always base your conversation on the proper information. But talk a little bit more about why it's important, why you feel like it's important, what urged you to work in your community like you have?
I believe that the people need the truth, and whether it's the truth that they want to hear or it's the truth that they need to hear, then I'm the person who always believe I'm not going to promise. No one should promise something that they are not going to be able to do. And if the community asks me something, I'm going to give them the answer. And if I don't have the answer, then we're going to try to find the answer. And so that's what in the community, that's what community individuals need to do. And so by always making a stand, and we're not just standing for what we think is right, we're standing for what is best for our children and our grandchildren. Because at the end of the day, stuff like the solar plant might never cause any harm to us. But we've got children and grandchildren and great grandchildren who might grow up in this community, and that might affect them. And so when we're talking about being advocates for our community, that is not looking at what's going to benefit us, but what's going to benefit our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. And so, the solar plant, we took a stand for that. I didn't hear you.
And where
we took a
where
stand.
Where are they on that?
I've seen trucks in and out. I spoke with Amy today, but we didn't talk about that. But I've seen trucks going in and out, and the thing is that we don't know what the outcome is going to be. But as a county council member, we would have hoped that their meeting would have been called earlier, so we could have been better informed and better prepared to meet with county council. And so that's why we are backing Ernie. I believe, and I'm sure there's others in my community. There are others in District 3 who believe that Ernie is going to be there for us. Tell us when things are going on. Of course, we can go on the website and we can see what the meetings is about, but you've got different people in different area where you can pick up the phone and say, hey, you know what? They're looking at bringing a solar plant in your area. How do you feel about that? And that's what representation needs to be.
And what I got from today, I was speaking to some people from down in Sanford who Mr. Carolina visited their church, and they felt disrespected in the way that first he came in, he said what he said, and he didn't make himself available for questions, and that was the thing that he kept saying that you don't understand how it is going. Well, if you don't understand it, if they don't understand it, it's your job as the leader, as the official, to communicate in a way that they do understand what is going on. And I tell you what, I applaud you for the advice you gave candidate Cooper tonight, in that don't make promises that, you know what I mean, just keep it real, just keep us in the loop, and we got you, but don't
don't make promises you cannot do. I mean, because it represents you. If you tell someone this is going to happen and it don't happen, then it looks bad on you, because you shouldn't have promised that in the beginning. And that's important. It's like Ernie is not going to be able to meet all the needs of everyone in District 3. He's not. But the thing is have that open communication where you feel like you're being heard. Where you just can't run into a church and say, hey, vote for me, and run out and don't expect people to have questions. Don't expect for people to want to know, what have you done in your 8 years? What have you accomplished? What happened to that $1 million? Where did all those funds go at? People want to know things like that.
Let me bring my guest in. This is the hardest working man in politics. We got the best deal in Andrews right here with the mayor we got. You know what I mean? For that.
Hi, Tiger.
All right, how you doing?
Hey, sir, how you doing? Welcome to the conversation, sir.
Yes, sir. How's everybody?
Good.
Still got my wall hat on tonight.
And I apologize. I'm in war mode, and I'm bringing you straight into the battlefield, like you coming into a hot zone.
Ready for it.
Ms. Miller was talking about the 8 years and this stuff that Eric Carolina is claiming that he's done. This picture was taken from today, which is a nice shot, by the way, with the Sanford in the water tower right there. I missed that with the drone, but I'll definitely get that. Ms. Miller, can you speak to some of the claims that Eric Carolina is making, that he's done so much in 8 years, and some of the, I know today it was a big topic about whether or not he was saying they already ordered the equipment,
If I'm not mistaken, because I'm not sure of the date, but I remember when the committee came together, and that, I'm not sure, was it $10 million, Frank, that they didn't use for the dredging of the port, and so they reassigned that money, and I think that was either during COVID. So that money's been allocated, if not 2000, and not 2020, but 2021. So if there was anything that was going to be done at the parks, there's 3 years passed by. That park still looks the same. You know, we if we want to represent our community, then we need to be out there and represent our community. Don't be on the sideline and sending out information saying, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. All of those false promises, at one point, people are going to realize that that's what it is, a false promise.
No, she's absolutely right. It was can you hear me?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So absolutely right. He's had these funds for a long time. This is the original list of things that the $7 million that were distributed to the 7 council members, to include Raymond Newton, Everett Carolina, and I specifically mentioned those guys because they are supposed to be representing the town of Andrews. But this is kind of the breakout of what it is. And to Mrs. Miller's comment, he's had this money a long time, and they should have been committed. But the way I see it, which I think, in my opinion, is an ethical issue, because some of that money, I think 160,000 of it that he's been promising people now that, you know, he has this money to do things with, is now using for campaign promises. And that those dollars should be going to those projects that he had listed. Although, you know, there's a backstory to even that money, but that's for another day. But you have these funds, and they should have been expended for those things that you had outlined, not save them now and wave this $160,000 in front of people saying, hey, I can now get you the park enhancements or improvements that I promised you. That is, and if you take a look at the other monies at the end of the 2020 census, the lines are redrawn. In came South Island, Grave Station, Greentown. So he rushed to do things in Grave Station, which is a good thing. You know, the demo of all of those dilapidated places. But again, the intent behind it was now to show these people that, hey, in a year or so, I got an election coming up, and I need you on my team. Again, you know, not focusing on Sanford and Santee, Lambertown, Osita, and just using this money to build a platform for this time right now. That is an unethical move, and that's Everett Carolina, who he is, who he's always been, and who he will continue to be if we keep him in this seat. And it has to be told boldly, like we're talking right now, because this is serious stuff. If District 3 is going to move up, or District 5, you're going to need people who represent that, as opposed to his vote and Raymond's vote going to the Pawleys Island area. It's that serious. And so if we beat around the bush and not talk and inform the people on what these two guys are doing or have done, their records show. Zero has been done for these other communities, and a heck of a lot has been done in support of what's going on outside of District 3. That's just the facts.
You know, the average wait time for an ambulance in District 3 is about 45 minutes. And that's coming from a conversation that I had with the chief of police in Andrews, South Carolina, and another officer who's had to wait. And so that's another issue, big issue in District 3. You know, and it's one of those issues that I always say that cover, it's not a black or white issue, because death don't care black, white, you know, it does not care. But these are the things that we need somebody, we need fighters up at county council fighting for this stuff. We don't need nobody coming taking no, because no is not an acceptable answer, you know. And if there's not a solution on the table, then we need thinkers or somebody that's smart enough to go out and get the people to, you know, to put these plans together and move these things forward. Like these, I mean, you know, basic quality of life issues.
Correct.
So if you can't meet the needs of those simple things, then how do you expect to solve some of the bigger challenges of the unmet needs in these underserved communities, when you can't or won't be involved in the decision making with respect to an ambulance that, again, has no racial boundaries?
You know,
It's unbelievable.
Mhm. We always our children graduate from high school, go off, and sometimes they don't think about coming back because Georgetown need businesses that are going to be there for our children. They need housing. We need affordable housing.
Absolutely. And,
Why?
and I'm sorry, Miss Miller.
Go ahead.
Affordable housing, okay? And this is per the minutes from Georgetown County for Bob Anderson, for Raymond Newton, and for Ever Carolina. Affordable housing doesn't mean the projects. It doesn't mean
Correct.
where Bob Anderson said, well, if they can't afford their rent, then we'll be paying. No, it's not. It's not that. Okay. It's just like you're saying, this is what doesn't attract the young people back to the area because of, and go ahead, I apologize, but go ahead.
Affordable housing, our children want to own a home. We don't need to be categorized as always in the projects or in the trailer park. We can put a foundation down into a home so we can have something for our children and our grandchildren. And, it's like, but don't sell us short, but give us the tools we need so that we can purchase these homes. Give us the job, bring job opportunity. How many jobs did that solar plant offer to Georgetown County? All they talk about is revenue. Oh, this revenue, they're going to bring in this much revenue. How many jobs did it bring into the citizen of Georgetown County?
And I remember being there listening to that conversation, and it'll bring some people in when they build it. And then when they go, it'll be 5 or 6 people that don't have a job there to maintain it. If that, some low number.
That's it. Our children and their children need jobs that's going to sustain them and their family. We cannot at these days in time, we cannot work for $10, $15, or $20 an hour. It's not sustainable. We cannot take care of our family like that. And so we need businesses to come to Georgetown County. We need affordable homes. We should not be turning down opportunities to bring affordable homes to Georgetown County.
Especially not based on ignorance. That's because in that situation, you had the planning commission, you had everybody, all of these bodies that are put in place to help advise our leaders. They went past all of that.
Yeah, that is sad. That is sad. We have to do better. We talked about the ditches and Sanford, and I'm not sure, but Santier, but I'm sure they're having problems too. We need to be able to call our representative and say, hey, they need to do some cleaning of the ditches. Mosquitoes going to soon be plentiful.
Yes, Ms. Tiger, please talk about that for the folks on the other side of the county that don't understand the particular type of issues that y'all have with flooding, and again, that brings on the mosquitoes and all this other stuff like that. So please just take however long you need to let these people know what's going on this side of the county.
Yeah. And the difficult thing is that we all pay that when we pay our taxes. We pay for stormwater, and we should be with the expectation of having our ditches cleaned out. I can't tell you the last time I saw a backhoe or anything on this road in Sanford cleaning out ditches. And it's not right. It's not right. If we're having that problem here, I'm sure other people's having that problems with flooding in their yard. The water just sitting there for days in and days out. I know across from my house that we had some rain for a while back, and that water sit there for weeks. If it's sitting there for weeks, it's not moving because it has no place to go.
And that's mosquito heaven right there.
And that's all that's it. That is it. So we need someone who we can call and say, hey, we're having this problem. Can you check into it and see, can you resolve this problem for us?
And stay on it. I spoke with another gentleman who just got a pothole fixed in front of his house, and he got the paperwork The request was done 2 years ago, and magically a month, here come we in election season, and now the road is fixed.
But maybe we need to have election every year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe then we'll get some things done.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I had a little. Mm-hmm.
We understand you're handling business.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But, those are issues that need to be addressed. And we don't need to wait till election year to address those issues. Absolutely. We shouldn't come out during the 6 months because someone is running against you and say, oh, I'm going to get this done for you all. I promise you this is going to be done. You just need to elect me in the office one more time, and I'll get this done.
This was it. Yeah, they were allowed to suffer, and those needs could have been met easily.
Mm-hmm.
But the timing for this guy was now. Use it as a political move, and meanwhile people still nothing has changed.
You're right.
Nothing has changed. That's not fair.
No, it's not fair, and it is sad because we have 8 years we have fallen behind false promises.
Yeah.
And if someone can come and say, you know what, this has been done, if you'll tell me, I will apologize for making this statement. But it's been 8 years of false promises. It's time for change. I'm
sorry, go ahead, sweetheart.
If you keep sweeping that trash under the rug, seems like sometimes you're going to notice that rug is getting higher and higher. It's time to take the trash and take the dustpan, remove the trash, and let's start doing this thing all over again.
That's right.
Yeah, it's and what I like that's happening in District 3, and Mr. Cooper, I know he's well aware of this, is that we're at a point now to where you ain't getting after 4 years, you're not, and again, we're not asking you to save the world. We're just asking you to include us in what's going on.
That's it. Yeah. And that's a simple thing to do. I mean, with everything that's going on now, just like this podcast, it is so simple to inform your constituents. It is so simple as having not only just go to the church when time for election, but you hold a meeting at the local congregations and tell them what's going on.
Yep.
That's your job.
That's what you signed up.
You decided that you are going to run for office, and it cannot be when it's convenient for you to do your job. It has to be when it's convenient for the people who you represent. That's what it's about. Setting self aside. It cannot always be about you. When it becomes all about you, then you have forgotten about the people who you're serving.
That's right. She's absolutely right. So we just people got to get out and vote starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if some may, don't know why was the mayor talking about it? Because Andrews is a part of this district. It's the only municipality that serves over 2,000 students. It comes all the way from Santee, Sanford, Big Dam, Osita. So yes, we do have a dog in this fight. We do have skin in the game, and so that. But I'm also aware that it's communities like Sanford that need other things. So he's got it's a reason why they set up you have a big area, but you need you took it on, address the needs of the people. It's not going to happen overnight, but 8 years and you don't have running water or facilities at this park. You don't have the storm drain issue fixed in Lambertown, but you did vote for a solar farm. Not saying it's a bad deal, but again, when common people put things into perspective, it's hard to explain to them that all these other things are moving in other districts. But here we are sitting with the same problems we've had for a very long time. And you have the money. So if you got money to put into a pickleball court in your own neighborhood in Santee, then why couldn't you put running water? And I guarantee you, what I saw on Saturday at the Sanford Park, there are tons of people out there. Wonderful parade, a wonderful festival.
Always using that park. They always that's probably one of the most used parks in Georgetown County, aside from the baseball facility. But you talk about on a community level, there's no other community aside. You know, they out in the Oakland area they use their park or whatever a lot. But Sanford Community Park is it is it's ridiculous.
I just came from out there at the meeting, and I stopped by the park. There were people out walking. And I saw that same porta potty you just flashed. That's what they have to use. There's young ladies out there. I think a group of ladies exercising doing this stuff. That's exactly what I saw. And so you're telling me that it took you that long, and now all of a sudden April, it's a big deal, and you still don't have anything in concrete. Hey, I think the people need to wake up.
Yeah, time for a change.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, something else he said in the church that I had a conversation with folks, and he repeated what Bob Anderson said. And this is definitely just crazy. When he tried to explain how the taxes are broken down in the county. And so they want to justify mistreating everybody else because the bulk of the taxes come from the Walker Mall. Like, as if, again, when you take my taxes out of my pocket, as if I don't feel it, you know what I mean? You know, like this idea that, oh, well, you guys only pay so much, then you don't. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Like, either you represent the people who voted you in, you know, or do what we getting ready to do to him now. See you later. You know, and he got a successful endorsement today. I'm still trying to figure out what a successful endorsement is. What does a failed endorsement look like? Maybe I should start right there. But I thought about that, and you know, and I'm not going to go at Mr. Evans like that. I'm questioning how you thought, Mr. Evans, you thought that we needed to change so bad that you would go and put your hat in the ring to remove Everett Carolina, and then personally, I thought you probably should have just stayed out of it, if anything. But when you went and made that move, you allowed that man to exploit you, like, and you offering up your supporters, people who supported you. They supported you over him, and here you are ushering them right back over to him. And that's my opinion. That don't have nothing to do with none of the guests on the show. That's my opinion, sir. And you can reach me at right here on the show.
Well, you know that, and I will comment on this because, you know, having been in this position now, you know, starting a third term, their thing is, well, he doesn't, you know, Mr. Cooper doesn't know anything. None of us knew anything when we came into these positions. So what you're looking for is someone that you can trust that's going to work hard and be fair to the people that you're supposed to represent, and then spend the time to learn the job and work to get things done. So I didn't know what I've learned about the town of Andrew, but I knew I came with a set of leadership skills and qualities that can, you know, at least help. So
Right.
So that's what I'm told, you know, the reason why, you know, he has no experience. Neither did Everett, neither did any of the other 7 members that are 6 members that are on the county council. Neither did Sapp before he ran. It's the same thing, but you see Senator Sapp making a difference. You see now everybody has done something in their time since they've been there in 8 years, except this guy. Now he's done something. He's voted for Pawleys Island. He's voted for what's going on in the Walker-Mon Neck.
He voted against affordable housing. And he still has when he did with $1 million.
You know, so yeah, he's done something. He just haven't done anything for District 3. That's the bottom line. And we're not being mean to him. That is just facts.
We're being fair to the people. That's
Being
what I
fair.
feel.
I like
And
that, Jamal. I like that.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like, hey, I mean, just be fair and be truthful. It's like, if something's been said tonight that's not truthful, then hey,
That's it.
call and we'll set the record straight. We'll
I,
set I will set the record straight. I know I will, because I don't want to mislead anyone. But I tell you what, we've had 8 years of false promises. And if you all want to go another 4 years of false promises, then hey, take what Andre say, move your vote right on over. But the thing is that you voted for Andre. That's who you voted for. Now, if you voted for him, that means you thought that the candidate that was holding that position was not the right candidate. Why would you go back that way? Why would you go back to something you already said was not working? Because you spoke, it wasn't working when you voted for somebody else. Why would you turn and go back? Why would you turn and go back? It's not working. 8 years is not working. Let's move on. Time to move on. Time to move forward. Ernie might not know everything that those on county council know at this point, but we all start, any position we take, we start at the bottom and work our way up. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. And I've got enough confidence. The mayor has enough confidence. 424 people, which was the majority, had enough confidence that Ernie was the candidate for Georgetown County District 3 seat. Join those 424 people and cast your vote for Ernie Cooper.
Yep. Bingo. Let's move this thing forward, and that's to any candidate in any of these positions, because the focus is not the national election, because that's not where the actions happen today. The actions happen right here on the ground. And so to any of you candidates, you need to come talk to the people, okay? You need to come talk to the people before you decide you want to, get into this. The day of holding them positions, and because you got your shirt in the cleaners and you look good and good cologne. Nah, that's not how that's going to go down in Georgetown County District 3 moving forward. No, because we got really good people, and I think if we could create a space where really good people can operate, then I think it'll be like you say, it'll be better for the future. I always refer to we planting trees that we were never going to sit under the shade of them trees. Mm-hmm. So I'm on board. Let's do that. So just moving forward, I think so we keep these platforms going, and I'm looking over at the folks in Williamsburg County now that the elections out now. Y'all better get the podcast started if y'all don't want no problems with me. If you stop, but no, because I think it's better, and even if the information is wrong, it's out here, and we can challenge it. You know what I mean? Just we need it out here. Yeah. And so I ain't gonna hold you much longer, Ms. Tiger, but the sewer situation has been that carrot and stick down in Sanford, and I've become, in the last year, I've become more familiar with the situation, and I kind of understand where the divide is. And I think the divide is something that you said tonight, is that people got to get out of the idea of getting something for free. And then if we work from there moving forward, I think we could, it could be, there's a way, man. There's a way. I seen another point that you made tonight about a council person's job. I seen Councilman Torrance Wilson over in Williamsburg County deliver 2 checks to do 2 different parks. One is over by the barbecue place near Hemingway, and then one in Morrisville. And he worked with Representative Atkinson, and that was the whole thing. getting these funds down to these community groups, and so we need somebody like that, somebody with that kind of vision, that kind of, okay, all right, well, let's try that, let's try this type of deal. And I know I kind of got off a little bit tangent, but yeah, I'm sorry, I get off a little bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and that's, Jamal, it has to be about the people and not about you, because when it's always about you, then you cannot be that representation that the residents in Georgetown District 3 needs. Mm-hmm. And so I think a fresh start with Ernie, with all of the help that he has, Frank, and other people in the community who has been around. Ernie has been, besides the time he was in the military and when he moved back here, he's been here for a long time. His family is here. I think he have all of his siblings here except for one. I'm not sure if Ben is here. I don't think Ben is in Washington, if I'm not correct. But all of his sisters and brothers grew up, most of them grew up in Georgetown County. This is a family thing. They all grew up in District 3. So they know the need. He know the needs of District 3. He know the people in District 3. He has been here. And so I'm just, I'm supporting him. I'm calling everyone I can call. If you did not vote in the primary, you still have a chance. You can go start tomorrow. You can go vote absentee and go ahead and vote. Take someone with you. The change begins with you. Don't sit back and say, oh, I wish I had. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. If it's not for you, and it might be for your child, your grandchild, look out for the future of your community. Let it start with you.
Hey, that's exactly right.
What you got coming up here, Mayor? In the town of Andrews there real fast.
Oh man. Hey, look, it's still a lot happening. Much like Ms. Miller, my energy these last couple of weeks has been spent trying to assist Mr. Cooper with his campaign, because again, one section, one community can't do it by itself, so we need other team members. And so I spent a lot of time there. But from Andrews, of course, infrastructure is always going to be number one. We were very excited so that's still happening. Those things, nothing has changed. Those are moving forward. I'll be very excited to welcome a new Mexican restaurant that's coming to town here. I think they'll be open somewhere in the first or the middle of August, according to their status.
I thought I saw that. I thought I was dreaming of someone. I saw that. Okay, yeah. There we go.
Yeah. I think they purchased the old Antonio's restaurant on Main Street, and we see now that
you mean the pizza man is going? We got one less pedophile out of town. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
So these folks are coming in. They made the announcement here, I think yesterday or the day before. The work is ongoing now, and I went down to visit the Little Caesars Pizza, talked to the owner yesterday, what folks have to understand, you'll see some of the things. Oh, where's Little Caesars Pizza? And this is business, so there's a lot of, especially when you start talking franchise, there's particular things that these people have to meet in order to enter into a franchise. So it's taken a little bit longer, but the owner is moving forward. They're in there now, doing the work to get it done. And we have to be patient. There's a couple other businesses coming out. I'll hold on the announcement until I get the green light from the owner. But one rather large business coming in, so that's happening. They have a lot of confidence in what's going on in the town of Andrews, and this goes back to why we need to make sure that our infrastructure, we are prepared to receive these folks. That's example of some things are going in the right direction, because these businesses do their market analysis, and if it's as bad as some of the the small percentage of people want to say, people wouldn't be coming here. So I say, to those that that are hopeful, stay with us. Things are happening, and we want to, again, as Ms. Tiger was talking about, we want to create an environment where our kids want to come back and be a part of the community. And so a long ways to go still. And this guy here loves Super Chick. So Super Chick is still here. So a lot's going on. We have another big announcement coming up soon with respect to the Main Street. If this thing makes it through the next phase, so we got our eyes on a pot of money for that as well. So it just takes time. And we're blessed to be considered and still receiving grants and those things. So, and our PD now is almost back full staff. As I told the sheriff the other day, I appreciate the assistance they've been giving us even up to now. And then I want to say a shout out to Chief Cockrell and Major Chandler, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Major Chandler.
No doubt, happy birthday.
Doing a wonderful job. And so it just takes time to build these things, and the government does not move fast. And I say that understanding that, but in 8 years, you got to show some kind of progress. Something's supposed to happen.
That's that part, and that's what we want to hear from our politicians. We ask you questions like that. Give us an update on what you got going on. You know what I mean? Not like Everett did this lady the other night. She was like, I got a problem with my ditch. All right, I'm gonna go by there and see it. The lady followed Everett straight out of town.
So it's not easy, and I think, but again, Tiger said this at the meeting, and she said it again tonight. Be careful with the promises that you make, because I can't, the same thing applies here. Know and then help people understand that if it's road ditches and those things, you got to push DOT. But when you start taking ownership of stuff that is not your responsibility, you get yourself in a pickle, because that's what people are going to expect you to do all the time. These sidewalks that are coming in here, that's DOT. We make it aware that these things are needed. But if I go out and say, well, I put the sidewalks in on Rosemary. No, I did not. That is a DOT. That is the tax dollars that are doing that. By the same token, DOT has responsibility for the storm drain. So when we put the pressure where it's supposed to be, then things will move. But then when you start taking credit for somebody else's work, and you can't make it happen all over the place, now you don't put yourself in a pickle, because someone will say, well, you got it done over here. Where's mine? And we just don't have kind of control. That is DOT, and that's the way it is. I saw on this gentleman's laundry list of things that he did. Some of them paved roads. You don't pave road. That's not what a county councilman does.
I saw that too.
The only one that the town of Andrews can take credit for in terms of paving a road is beach, because those are grants that we got for the replacement of the pipe, and we also allocated money to pave beach. All this other paving is going on, that is DOT.
Yeah.
But it's our responsibility. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, those were things that when we did that penny tax a long time ago, they advocated. I think Joy McKnight served on that commission, and thank Joy for her service. And those were some of the things that they had funds for, and Joy, those they presented to county council, and we approved it. But that was a long time ago. That was not anything
that's why
present day. In order for roads to come through CTC, those are the people who make the decision on what roads are being paved. So, that's just a little tip.
She's absolutely right. So the work that she did some time ago is coming to fruition now.
It's all coming full circle, connecting these dots.
You have to be careful. If you're a part of initiating these things, but then they pop up while you're sitting in the seat, give credit where it's due. Don't take that credit, because again, I'm gonna come back to you and say, hey, you got it done for this side of town, get it done over here.
Absolutely
and
right.
You can't produce because
right.
it's not for you to you don't control it.
That's it. You don't control it. Okay.
So listen, Ms. Miller, I'm gonna give you the last word here. I think we covered some good ground right there. Let's people stew on that. Remember, tomorrow is early voting begins. I know it's Juneteenth. The bank will be closed. Remember that. I found that out 2 years ago, a year when the first year they did it. But give you the last word. Go ahead, ma'am.
Don't wake up next Wednesday morning and say, I wish I had. Don't do it. Let your voice be heard. Go out and vote between now and next Tuesday and make a decision that's best for you and your children and your grandchildren. Ernie Cooper is the choice.
There it is, guys. Real Talk Tuesday. Hey, Ms. Miller, you're gonna have to come back. Like
I certainly will. I would love to.
Yeah, we do this all year long, and I can pull up a county council meeting and we can review it. Yeah. So we're taking this politics to another level in Georgetown County. And
well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Change need to come.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you, Mayor. Have a good one, sir.
Yes, sir.
All
Appreciate
right.
your time.
We signing off, y'all.